Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Well, today is the 18th anniversary of 9/11, and I want to do a special blog about my thoughts on 9/11 and everything related to it. Um, Now, before I do that, I want to introduce you, if you're not familiar with it, I'm being a little facetious here. I want to introduce you to one of the most hated um, items that America is now experiencing. There are some people who hate, shockingly enough, the American flag. Yep, there it is. The American flag. The flag that's been a symbol of our country for over 200 years, and it's a flag that represents our freedom. Okay. And what some of the crazy people on the left are doing is politicizing the American flag to have it mean something other than what it means. Okay. Um, Now, first of all, I grew up with in being in homeroom in grade school, and everybody stood up, stood beside their desks, put their hand over their heart, and faced the front of the room where the American flag was hanging, and we recited the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, and um, recently there has been on the news that an American walking by another American's house sees that this American homeowner has their American flag displayed. I guess it was on their front porch or whatever. And this American decided to burn somebody else's American flag. Okay, this is not what I experienced growing up. This is anti-American, what this American did. Okay, and my feeling is, first of all, um, you do not have the right to go to somebody's house, somebody who you do not know, and set fire to something that belongs to this person, this homeowner, who you do not know. Okay, if you want to set fire to something that belongs to you, you can do so. I remember watching a Cops episode where this homeowner dragged his mattress down to the front lawn and set it on fire. The police were called and the fire trucks were called. And when the authorities came to his house, they asked him what he was doing. And he said that he came home early and saw his wife having sex with another man on their bed, in their mattress. So he decided to take his mattress out and burn it. And the officer said, one officer said to the other, and he explained the situation. He said he found his wife laying on this mattress with another man, and so he's setting it on fire. He's burning the mattress. And they said he can do that. He has every right to burn something of his own. Okay, something of his own. It's his mattress that he himself paid for, or he and his wife paid for. And so he had a right to burn his own property if that's what he wanted to do. And justifiably so. But you do not, I don't know where people got the idea that it is okay to take something that does not belong to you and burn it. I don't know who said that was okay to do. It is not okay to do. It was never okay to do, and it remains not okay to do. You do not have the right to set fire to something that does not belong to you. And if you hated the flag that much, number one, why are you here? Okay, number two, if you do not like the look of it, turn around and walk away with the flag behind you so you don't have to look at it. Okay, what the arson, because first of all, this is arson. Okay, so this is arson, which is a crime. This was the willful destruction of somebody else's private property, so that too is a crime. I don't know if it's a misdemeanor or felony, but it is a crime for the willful destruction of private property that does not belong to you. Also, what if, God forbid, something went wrong, okay, and the fire touched the house, and then the house started to catch on fire? Now we have arson, pure arson, in setting the house on fire, and that is exactly what the homeowner could claim, that this person willfully set fire to his house. Okay, and he could go, I was setting fire to American flag. You see that house that's burning, you set fire to that house. And the American flag was attached to the house. So it did not matter where you started the fire from. Okay, didn't have to be a pylon, didn't have to be a bench, it didn't have to be a step. The fact is, you set fire to this house, regardless of what you lit first. Doesn't matter. And whoever told this person that it was okay to set fire to something that does not belong to them, I don't know who did that, but that person is just as responsible for what happened. You do not have the right to set fire to the American flag or to somebody else's American flag. Okay, you can only set fire to the American flag if the flag touches the ground. This is what I recently learned. Okay, that the flag never touches the ground, and if it does, you burn it. That is the only time that you are allowed to burn the American flag, is if it touches the ground. Because related to the Pledge of Allegiance. And we all know the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? And put a hand over a heart, and we say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Now, I recited that every morning at school. And it's a shame if that's not happening now. That's why things are as bad as it is. And that's why people think it's okay to burn the American flag. Are you out of your mind? Do you know who burns the American flag? Terrorists. Anti-American terrorists. Like Iran, Hezbollah, Taliban, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They burn the American flag while they chant death to America. Because they acknowledge and understand that the American flag is representing of the country. And by burning the American flag, it is in essence saying, we want to burn down the United States. We want to burn it, we want to destroy it, we want to wipe it off the map. And guess what? If you burn the American flag, my friend, you are also saying that you want this country disintegrated. And guess what? You won't have a home to be with. You won't have a home to live in. If burning the American flag, which is in fact burning the country down, And if this country is completely destroyed, you won't have a home to live in. So basically, you're burning your own house if you burn the American flag. Because that is exactly what burning the American flag means. It means the absolute, total destruction, complete destruction of the United States. This country will be completely unrecognizable. This country will be dead. And you will be homeless. You will not have a home. The entire system will be destroyed, and you will be homeless. So guess what? You just burned down your own house when you burn the American flag. Because it says, I pledge allegiance to the flag, which means you're loyal. You're loyal to the United States. And by being loyal to the United States, or you're loyal to the flag, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Okay, so the flag is of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands. So this flag stands for our constitutional republic. And every time you hear somebody, especially from the left, talking about, this is democracy, well, you know what? It's not a democracy. And that's why they're called Democrats. Okay, Democrats look at our country as being a democracy. Republicans, on the other hand, look at our country as being a constitutional republic. And that's why the Democrats wanted to destroy the Constitution by destroying the First and Second Amendments. They're more vocal about destroying the Second Amendment, and they're very manipulative about how they want to destroy the First Amendment. Okay, so it is clear that Democrats hate our country. It is clear that they see our country not founded on the Constitution, which Republicans do. Okay, and then they start being crybabies and point to the Constitution whenever it's convenient. They want to destroy the Constitution, but yet they will point to the Constitution. Oh, that's unconstitutional. Well, you don't care about the Constitution when you're talking about, taking away the First and Second Amendments. So don't you be, pointing to the Constitution. Oh, it's unconstitutional. You can't have it both ways. You can't be against the Constitution and then also rely on the Constitution whenever it suits your needs. Okay? You can't have it both ways. Okay? You're either for the Constitution or you're against it. And if you're for the Constitution, then you do not attack the First and Second Amendments. Okay? So like I said, you can't have it both ways. You cannot, depend upon or count on the Constitution whenever it's convenient for you, at the same time attack it and want to remove it. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. The world doesn't work that way. Okay, so remember, Democrats see our country as a democracy. That's why they're called Democrats, democracy. Republicans see our country as a constitutional republic. Republicans, republic. So remember that. Democrats see our country as a democracy. Democrat, democracy. Republicans look at our country as a republic, a constitutional republic. Republicans, republic. Period. That's why they're named the way that they're named. Okay. So, and to the republic for which the flag stands for. Okay. One nation, under God, indivisible. And this again articulates the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Because Republicans see our country as indivisible. We are one family. The Democrats, on the other side, see our country as divisive, as divided into separate groups with their identity politics. They're sorting out Americans according to group, and they're putting them into groups. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So the Republicans see our country as indivisible. Indivisible. Boom. You cannot challenge it. We are indivisible, and that is what you will hear every Republican talk about. That we are undivided. We are one American family. President Trump says that very often. That we are one American family. One whole community. As one unit. Not a whole bunch of little bitty subsets that the Democrats believe in stressing. So, Democrats believe our country as divided. Republicans look at our country as being undivided. Indivisible. Indivisible. Incapable of being divided. We are one country. One people. One community. One society. We are one. Indivisible. With liberty and justice for all. So the Pledge of Allegiance says that everybody, regardless of who they are, is entitled to liberty and justice. Everybody. Everybody. And once again, I saw on the news about them saying, he says Trump has been exonerated, and he hasn't been exonerated. Do you know what the word exonerated means? Hello? It means that exonerated means absolved of guilt. It doesn't mean that he was proven not guilty. It means he was absolved of guilt. When you do not have sufficient evidence to charge somebody with a crime, they are considered not guilty. You're declared not guilty not because you're proving the person is not guilty. It's because you were unable to establish that a crime has been committed. And if you cannot establish a crime committed, then according to the way law works, okay, that person is absolved of the crime. Okay, so let's put that bullcrap to rest, shall we? Put the record away. It's been done. We are done with it. We are done with it. Period. It's dead. The issue is dead. Stop dragging it out. That's not going to help anything. And it's not going to change anything either. Okay. Now, so like I said, I mean, if you do not want to take a look at the American flag that somebody else, your fellow neighbor, your fellow American chooses, it's free to choose to put on his house, his or her house, guess what? You don't have to look at it. You can turn your whole damn person around, do a 180, walk away. So you, guess what? You don't have to look at it. Hello? Anybody home? Think. Use the brain that God gave you. Think. If you don't like to see it, turn the damn body around. Turn around. Do a 180. Boom. Walk away. Walk away. What you did was violent. And remember, I said violent is when you infringe upon the right of somebody else. Somebody else's rights. And you infringe upon that. And you do that when you set fire to something that belongs to somebody else. You're infringing upon their right, their freedom, to put a flag on their house. What if somebody burned something of yours on your house? I'm not saying two wrongs make a right, because it doesn't. But these crazy people, they don't realize, you know, turn around, for crying out loud. You don't want to look at it, fine. Turn around. Head the other way so that the flag is behind you so you don't have to look at it. Look ahead of you, don't look behind. If you turn around 180, flag is behind you, walk that way. Crazy people we got. Crazy people. The insane asylum is empty because of these idiots that are walking around thinking that it's okay because something bothers you that you set fire to it. What the hell is wrong with these people? What the hell is wrong with these people? They need psychiatric evaluation, these people. Crazy. Insane. And like I said, if you are unhappy being here in America, if the flag bothers you that much, why are you still here? Why bother being where you're not happy? That's why I left New York, because I wasn't happy. I hated New York. So I left. And now I'm happier. See, common sense makes common sense, don't it? Okay, you don't like where you live, then move. Move to somewhere else where you'll be happier. And if you're unhappy with the United States, there was an old hippie saying in the late 1960s, America, love it or leave it. And you know what? It's relevant today just as it was relevant 40, 50 years ago. America, love it or leave it. So either you love America or you leave. Hello? Common sense. Wow, I didn't know I could leave. Idiots. I swear we got idiots in this country. Idiots that do not understand or do not realize that you don't have to be forced to stay where you're not happy. And that's what these people think. These people think they're forced to stay here. That somebody's forcing them to stay here. Because otherwise they'd leave. Go to another country where you'd be happier. Obviously you're not happy in this country. So, hello, leave. Go to another country. Go to England. Go to France. Go to Germany. Hell. Go to Italy. I don't care where you go. But go to some place where you'll be happier. Go to Mexico. Go to, I don't know. There's so many countries to choose from. You're not happy in the United States. So many countries to choose from. Let's see, what country will I be happier in? Because I'm not happy in this country anymore. I think I'll move to the Netherlands. I think I'll move to Australia. I think I'll move to Canada. What happened to all of that talk? Damn masochists is what we have. They want to torture themselves and be miserable living someplace where they're not happy. And they swore they would move, but they're still here. Why are you still here? You said you were going to move. You said you were going to leave. And I got a few people lined up who want to take your apartment. Why are you still here? I thought you were going to leave. No, I'm going to stay here and be miserable. I'm going to stay here and be miserable and unhappy and bitch and complain and just wallow in self-pity and anger and just be miserable and hate where I live. Okay, if that's what you want to do, I would want to move someplace where I'll be happier. But hey, that's what you want to do. So you want to be masochist, you go right ahead. And if you're not happy, I don't want to hear about it, because you have a choice, my friend. You have a choice to leave this country if you're not happy here. And we have a lot of people who need a place to live who are happy being in America. And they can't get an apartment because you are occupying an apartment and you are not happy living here. So, now, with this being 9/11, now I just want to say one more thing before I go on to 9/11. The Pledge of Allegiance, if you think about it, to prove that it's Republicans, and Republicans look at our country as a constitutional republic, because the Pledge of Allegiance says, and to the republic for which it stands, not and to the democracy for which it stands. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the democracy for which it stands. No, right? We don't say democracy for which it stands. We say republic for which it stands because we are a constitutional republic. Okay, I just wanted to, I think I forgot to make that point, and I just want to make that point before I move on. So, I love my flag, and I love my country. Okay. Now, 9/11. I was asleep when the planes hit the towers. And I think I woke up around 9 o'clock, I think. And by the phone woke me up. And somebody I knew from the East Coast called me up and said, they're gone. I was trying to wake up and said, huh? What's gone? They're gone. The towers are gone. I said, what towers? Haven't you been watching the news? No, I was sleeping. Why? What's going on? Turn on the news. Turn on the news. I said, all right, I'll turn on the news. So I turned on the news. And they would replay those moments over and over and over again, and I was in shock. I said, oh my God. And even more so because of all the skyscrapers, of all the buildings that are in New York, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center was my all-time favorite building in New York. They stood proud and majestically, very handsome and elegant as they stood tall. Very handsome design near the base of the building, near the ground. Love the design. Love the design. You know. And I think part of the reason why I love the design was the fact that it was arc-shaped, but it was almost also arrow-shaped. So in other words, it was pointing to the sky. The sky's the limit. Uh-oh! I'm under fire! I'm under fire! No, that was the that was the Coca-Cola machine. Okay, scared me for a second. I said, "Oh my God! Oh, I'm under fire! I'm under fire! Fire in the hole!" And get that poor correspondent in here. So, yeah. And it pointed to the sky. The sky's the limit. Very handsome. I loved the building. And I've been inside, to the best of my knowledge and my memory, only once. And it was in the, let's say mid-1980s. And I was doing some extra work for somebody who was a friend of my dad's, and my dad said, I'd like you to help him out, because I knew about music and I knew about consoles and connections and everything, and he needed some extra help because he was doing a New Year's Eve party at the Windows of the World restaurant at the 110th floor of the World Trade Center. I don't remember what building it was. I don't know if it was the North or South Towers. I don't remember that. But I do remember that it was in the restaurant, which is the Windows of the World restaurant at the 110th floor of the World Trade Center. And I I do not remember the lobby. I do not at all remember the lobby at all. I remember the restaurant, and I also remember the elevator. And it was a huge elevator. The elevator was as big as a studio apartment. It was huge. You could probably fit about 250 people in this one elevator. And this elevator was the express elevator to the 110th floor. And I think the only thing I remember about the lobby was the many, many banks of elevators. There were elevators that were local elevators that covered the lower 50 floors or the mid 50 floors or 30 floors or whatever. There were so many elevators. But for this one elevator, this one express elevator that went all the way up to the 110th floor, that was a huge elevator. Huge. You know. And so I got on this elevator, and you know that there's the display panel, right, that lights the numbers, right? And I've been so used to seeing 1, 2, 3, mezzanine, or first floor, basement, lobby, mezzanine, second floor, third floor, But this didn't have it. This went 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah. Yeah. So I pressed I guess it was a special button. I guess it was only one button. And so I went up, and I was looking at the display. I forgot the term now. Display panel, right? And lobby was lit, and the doors closed. And so I'm looking at the display panel, and lobby is lit for a while, but I don't feel the elevator going at all. I don't hear any motors. I don't feel any movement, no shaking, no jolt, no nothing. It was as sedate as a sleeping kitty. And then the panel shifted. Now, lobby was gone. Now 10 was lit. I said, wow, I just went up 10 floors. And then 20 was lit after a moment or two. Okay, 20 floors. Then 30. Then 40. Nah, impossible. I could not have gone up 40 floors. I didn't feel anything. And I didn't feel any air pressure or nothing. So the panel must be wrong. 40. Now it's 50. Now I'm starting to feel faint air pressure against my ears. It's like, I'm still feeling no movement in the car at all. And it's still going up. 60 now. Now the pressure on my ears has increased. And I'm starting to, oh my God, the pressure is so much. Like 70th floor. Oh, and it's getting even more and more intense. The pressure on my ears. Okay, air pressure's getting intense now. 80, 90. And it's so incredibly intense. 100. Oh, God. Oh, stop. I want to get off this damn elevator. And 110. There was no slowing down. There was no jolt. 110. Stayed lit. Car didn't move. But now the pressure is lessening on my ears. Damn. That was hard on my ears. Door opens up. And now I see the restaurant. A beautiful restaurant. linen tablecloths, linen napkins, the finest china, the most elaborate stainless steel silverware, cups, water pitchers, plush carpet. Beautiful restaurant. Never forgot it. So I then started getting busy and helping the guy I'm working for set up his equipment, his console, his mixer, the speakers, everything. I helped him set up for New Year's Eve at the windows of the World Trade Center. And I could smell the food cooking. Mm-mm-mm. Man, it smelled so good because they're preparing the meals. Smells so good. I then looked at a menu just check out what they were serving. And the menu was beautiful and elegantly printed. I was like, wow. So when I got done, I then went over to the window to look down. And by this time, it was starting to get dark. And I could look out amongst Midtown Manhattan and all points north. And it was just the most phenomenal view I ever had. It was incredible. And I could look down and I could see little white dots moving around and little red dots moving around. And then, of course, you had the little white dots that were stationary, which were, of course, the street lights. And it was just an awesome, awesome view. And I just couldn't stop looking down at the city. I just couldn't stop looking. And you couldn't see the people. All you could see were lights, little pin-sized lights, white lights and red lights. And they were all going all over the world, all over the place, all over. Matter of fact, it could be a painting, like a visual painting. It was so beautiful. And then, of course, I remember seeing those laser videos of time-lapse photography. Oh, it was so close to that. So yeah, I was in the World Trade Center. Like I said, I don't remember which tower it was in. I just remember I was in one of the towers. And here's something that I thought of, that when the first building was hit, everybody in the other tower should have started evacuating immediately if they didn't do so. Because you don't know. That's the neighboring building across the way. You don't know that something could explode over there and send shrapnel over and hit you. Okay, it's unsafe being up there, especially at that height where the first plane hit the building. Okay, it's not safe. So I'm hoping, I don't remember hearing that everybody in the other tower started evacuating immediately, heading toward the floor and getting the heck out of Dodge. I hope they did. I really hope they did. And then the only lives lost would have been those on the other plane and not those still in the offices. I would not stay there. If I was working in the other building and an explosion happened in the neighboring tower, I said, I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm heading down to the street and then just waiting to see if the coast is clear. I would not stay there. I got the opportunity and time, because like I said, there could be, there could be an explosion or something, maybe a gas leak or something that could set off debris and shrapnel and collide into our building. I don't know, and I wouldn't be taking a risk. So I would have hoped and I would have prayed that everybody working in that other building just left the building, just got out of those offices and went down the street and waited until the coast was clear. It's just because anything could happen, and did. But I would have said, Okay, it's like any fire drill. I mean, hell, we go through fire drills in school and everything else. This would definitely apply. That you got enormous fire coming from, you know, the building. I would not stay. I would go right out of the building. I would say, hey, everybody, come on, let's get out, let's get out. Let's head down the street because something could hit us. An explosion could send debris or shrapnel our way. And it's a building right next to us. So it's not safe where we are, so we'd better hit down the ground. So I'm only hoping and praying that the people did. I don't remember in all the programs and videos and documentaries that covered it, but I don't remember hearing that everybody, and I mean everybody, in that other building evacuated the building. So there was nobody in the building. Just as a safety precaution, just as an emergency precaution, just to be sure you're okay and safe before the fire marshal declares it all clear, and then you can head back into the building. Because let me tell you something, I don't think anybody's going to be upset if you left the building. And say, well, it's not our building, so we're all right. No. You get out. You get out of the building. Because you don't know that something over there could fly. You don't know if a projectile could explode from that building and that projectile hits you. You don't know if that's going to happen. And I would not stay to find out. I would get the heck out of Dodge. I would get in those elevators and I'd get down to the floor. And just stay on the street, away from the building, and wait until the authorities say it's all clear. Then you can return to the building. That's what, if that didn't happen, okay, that's what should have happened. And the only, it's just common sense, and it's based on everything I've ever experienced about fire drills. Everything. And about a lot of things that happened like at earlier over at Columbine. Of course, that's a different scenario, different situation, but or suppose it was the explosion that Timmy McVeigh did at Oklahoma City, and you just get the heck out of there. You just get the heck out of there so you're safe. So, anyway, that's pretty much what I want to say. Let me see. Wrote my notes down. Oh, one other thing. I find it really interesting that 9/11 occurred around the high holy days on the Jewish calendar. Around Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur. That I find really interesting because it's during the high holy days that you examine your behavior over the past year and see where you missed the moral bullseye, where you've sinned, and to forgive those who sinned against you and atone for the sins you committed. And, and say, whatever I did, I'm sorry and I'll do better. So, I find it interesting. And like I said, if you think about it, who burns the flag? Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Taliban, ISIS, all these terrorists, Iran, all these terrorists who shout death to America. See, do you really want to shoot yourself in the face or shoot yourself in the foot? So anytime somebody expresses a desire to burn the American flag or whatever, just say don't. Okay. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. And take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.